Growing up, my mother told me a story, as parents often do, about scoring a perfect score on an exam, and later being taken to the office to explain how she had cheated, because it was not possible that a woman had outperformed the men in the class. 50 years later, we're still struggling with representation. In my field, the field of computer science, 20 years ago, the percentage of women was 20%. Today, that number is actually lower. Report after report from the federal government, from leading institutions, have identified computer science as one of the new basic skills necessary for economic advancement and social mobility. Now, if you think about that small 20%, think about the percentage of those that are minority women. Think about the percentage of those that are Mexican women like my mother, and you're starting to approach zero. I teach a pretty successful course in computation at MIT. And as I was wrapping up my last semester, I got this crazy idea. I thought, what if I was to take this course down in Mexico and teach high school-age young women to try to motivate them to consider careers in computation? Now, when I came home, I was pretty excited about it, and I shared this idea with my wife, who's an educator. And her response was, if you think that what you do at MIT in any way prepares you for stepping into a high school classroom, mind you, full of women, you're out of your mind. You're crazy. Now, in a long tradition of husbands not listening to their wives, I went ahead with the idea anyway. I reached out to peer institutions within Mexico. I shared the idea, and luckily they were like me. And they decided to promote the course and to reach out. And we agreed to reconvene in a month's time. Now, when we met next, they were pretty disappointed. They said, we have tried, we have reached out, we have worked really hard, but unfortunately, women don't care about these topics. However, they said, the word has gotten out, and a lot of the men, the boys, have heard about the course, and if you want to teach it to them, we can sell out the course overnight. Now, at this point, I said I didn't want to give up on my original idea. Maybe I didn't want to look bad in front of my wife. But I thought, no, let us take another chance. And I sat down with my graduate students, and we thought long and deep and hard about these topics that we are so passionate about, that we dedicate our lives to. We changed the name of the course from computation to beautiful patterns, because really this is what they are. We came back with lecture topics such as how to use a boyfriend, how to keep a secret, how to pack a bag. And if you think we were talking down to them, we were not. How to choose a boyfriend is a variant of the stable marriage algorithm, which won a Nobel Prize. How to keep a secret is cryptography. How to pack a bag is an optimization problem that freshmen around the country, computer science freshmen, see every year. And so with this new content, we tried again. And we went from having zero interest to the course being sold out. In fact, parents were tracking me down and leaving messages on my answering machine trying to get their daughters into this course. Now, with this initial success in mind, we set out, we gathered our materials, and we flew down to Mexico. Now, I was about to land in the city of Monterrey, I started having second doubts again. I thought, Abel, be objective about this. Take a step back. Think about what you're trying to do. You're packing a semester-long course into a week. You typically teach a couple of hours a week like most faculty. You're going to be going 8 hours a day, 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Perhaps having tricked a lot of these girls into taking your course. This could go very badly. Now, I'm happy to say that I was completely off base. What I saw in the classroom was something I've never seen before. I've had the opportunity to speak before many audiences around the world, in many different countries. And I've never seen the level of engagement and interest that I saw in this classroom. A lot of stories stick in my mind. One of them is binary clocks. If you've never seen a binary clock, this is one of those fun things computer scientists like to do, because nobody can tell time unless you've studied binary numbers. Typically, most classes have 4 or 5 variants. My students at MIT do that. In this classroom, I saw well over 20 clocks, many of which I've never seen before, well thought out, interesting. One of the girls that was presenting her clock with a gleam in her eye said, "We understand this clock is more complicated than it needs to be, but we want it to be a piece of art that sits on someone's living room." So not only has she understood the technical challenge, she had seen beyond it to an artistic expression. We had a number of these experiences. In fact, at the end of each day, my graduate students and me would just stare at each other and laugh because we couldn't believe what was happening in the classroom. Coming back, we knew we needed to work hard to scale this program. And that's what we did. Last summer, we taught 1,000 young women, and we're planning to teach 10,000 next summer. Now, it's not without its challenges. Think of any resource and multiply it by 1,000, and now 10,000, and you can imagine what that challenge is. However, there's something pretty interesting here. These humble, exceptionally bright young girls are now a source of inspiration. At last count, over 10 countries have reached out to me trying to replicate the program. In their own countries, the representation of women is even worse. So it is surprising the role that they're playing. So without a doubt, it puts a smile on my face and it warms my heart. For women like my mother, it's no surprise. They knew it all along. Okay.